local. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By AM/PM, too much good stuff. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting live action with Cage Sport Mixed Martial Arts May 3rd. For tickets, go to emeraldqueen.com as we get ready for Mariners and the Houston Astros. Let's get back to Angie Mentink.
Guys, look, the road trip did not go well. The last week has been difficult, but remember, things could always be worse. And for the Houston Astros, they have been worse. They have not been able to win a game over the last week, while the Mariners are 1-6. Now, Seattle is averaging 3 runs a game. Houston, less than that. Contact is a big part of the problem for both of these clubs. 63 strikeouts for Houston, 42 for Seattle, and what it all means is a lot of men left on base for both clubs. So the numbers are not good, but the Mariners could really benefit if they find a way for the next 3 games, because success against Houston had a huge impact on the division last year. We take a look at the 2013 standings. Oakland and Texas both able to beat up on these Houston Astros. 17-2, Athletics 15-4. They point to that as the reason why they won the West. And of course, something has to give tonight, because these right now are the 2 teams with the longest active losing streaks in Major League Baseball. Mariners at 6 games, the Houston Astros at 7. I like our chances. Why? Well, because the king, Felix Hernandez, is on the hill tonight. 39 strikeouts, leads the American League. That tells me he is ready to go. Come back. The King's Court is in session right here on Root Sports.
"52 years ago today, the eyes of the world turned its attention to Seattle and the Space Needle, because it was the opening day for the World's Fair. A little bit farther south from Queen Anne Hill, down here at Safeco Field, Mariner fans turned their eyes to the king once again, Felix Hernandez, as they look for him to be a stopper. The Mariners have lost 6 consecutive ball games, and they're trying to end it tonight against the Houston Astros, reeling themselves. They've lost 7 in a row. Good to have you with us here for Mariner Baseball. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Root Sports crew. Happy Felix night, everybody. Let's take a look at the Houston Astros batting order against the King.
Leading off, it'll be Jose Altuve. Then it's the former Rocky Dexter Fowler hitting second. Jason Castro third. George Springer, he's a big prospect with the Astros. He will hit cleanup. Hits in all 5 games since being called up. Also has a lot of power. There's Krause, Presley, Dominguez, the DH, hitting 7th. Gonzalez and VR rounding out the 9 for the Astros. For Felix on the year, this will be his 5th start. 3-0 record, a 1.91 ERA, and 28 in the third. 38 strikeouts for Felix, only 3 walks. Opponents hitting just 171.
Number 1 in strikeouts in the American League. First pitch to Altuve, their best hitter, up and in for ball 1. The 1-0 to Altuve. There for a strike. Home plate umpire tonight is Laz Diaz. He's accompanied by Scott Barry at first, Jeff Nelson at second, and Marcus Patillo at third. Another strike from Felix. A ball and 2 strikes. Altuve at 280. Best average on this ball club. Houston last in batting average, runs, hits, 13th in ERA, part of their profile. The 1-2. A 2-2 count to Altuve to lead it off here. 54 degrees, wind out of the northeast at 6 miles an hour. Two. Count runs full. On deck is Dexter Fowler, switch hitter, formerly with the Rockies. Three and 2. And he missed.
Just the 4th walk of the year for Felix. In the outfield for the Mariners will be Ackley in left, Almonte out at center, Romero getting the start against the left-hander. He'll be in right. Seager at third, Miller and Cano playing up the middle, Justin Smoke at first base, and Mike Zunino will do the catching this evening. When you look at the first 4 games with Felix and what he has done, as Dexter Fowler will step in, off to a slow start, hitting just 207. We've talked about it, Dave. It's been remarkable for him to walk out to the mound from the bullpen with all 4 of his pitches. He always has a good fastball, and his changeup always seems to be there. But the fact that he has a curveball and a slider that he can mix in with that, and they're exceptional pitches too, and he can throw them for strikes or bury them when he wants to. If you look at his numbers against the Astros in his career, it makes it tough for any hitter.
Keep in mind, Houston likes to run. Second only to Texas in the American League. 15 stolen bases by the Astros, 2 behind the Rangers.
They do a lot of their scoring, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Also, 20 home runs for the Astros as a team. They have struggled offensively, though. Just a 192 average for the Astros this year.
Bo Porter, second-year manager. Just 3 African-American managers in Major League Baseball, all 3 in this division. Lloyd, Bo, and Ron Washington at Texas. Dave Tremblay, there he is. The bench coach, had been a third base coach. And he and Bo have a long relationship going back to the minor leagues. Altuve takes off, pitch swung on, and skied to left.
I think that's a break for the Mariners. Altuve, it looked like he had a great jump at first. I think he would have been able to steal it. Last 4 season walks per 9 innings, 2.6, and it drops down to 2.2. Last year right at 2, and you can see what he's done this year. 1 walk per 9 innings for Felix.
Brisk night, but folks know how to dress here in Seattle, Washington. Good crowd out in the pen, center field.
The Mariners last year against the Astros, 10-9. You would certainly like them to have a better record this year. I think it's important for him to do that.
And remember how rough it started, because when they came in here, everybody said, "Wow, they'll get a couple against Houston." Didn't work out that way. The Mariners were 3-6 here at home against Houston. Lost 2 out of 3 the first 2 times in.
You still have to go out and play the games, don't you, Dave?
Absolutely. We learned that 162 times a year.
It's just like, you even look at this game tonight, and I like what Lloyd McClendon said right before the game. I don't have an expectation. My hope is, because that's the way this game goes. You never know. You have Felix on the mound against a club that's hit 192, and you think that you have an easy win. That is not always the case.
Castro looks at the pitch down low, an all-star representative. The new benches for the coaching staff so they can see above the rail, and Trent Jewett to Lloyd's right. Howard Johnson there in the glasses. Rich Donnelly, the third base coach. Those were just put in here today, both sides. Foul back.
Having some technical issues with our tracer. As soon as we get it fixed, we'll show it to you.
Astros 7-game losing streak. Their last win April 12th at Texas, 6-5 in 10 innings. Mariners have lost 6 in a row. They haven't won since beating Texas April 14th. That was in Arlington. 7-1 score. Got the road trip started. Runner goes. Swing on, foul back. Altuve 8 out of 9 in base stealing.
You can see the 2 times that he decided to run, he really starts to lean out over his right leg. Felix, a good athlete, quick move to first. If he notices that he might be able to pick him off, or at least get him a little bit closer to the bag so he doesn't get as good a jump.
Altuve tied with Ellsbury, second place in the American League behind Texas Elvis Andrus, who has 9. 2-2. There he goes again. Pitch, swung on and sent to left field. Backing up Ackley. On the track, makes the catch. Altuve has to retreat again. 2 outs.
Well, now they're saying out. Maybe Altuve didn't retouch the base. Let's take a look. Altuve doesn't retouch it. Cano wants the ball. He didn't touch second coming back, and the Mariners alert. Were able to double him up.
Jeff Nelson right there on the scene, the second base umpire, and that'll do it for the Astros. Not the start they were looking for. He gets down.
Have
second
to retouch
base,
it. Yeah,
touch.
he goes around it, and then he just trots back. Absolutely. Good job by Cano to notice that.
All over. There he is, calmly walking toward. Now Altuve makes a mistake as we go to the bottom of the first here at Safeco Field. Cano coming up big right here, Mike.
Yeah, you can see Altuve. He's fine right here. You can see the ball's drifting back. He can go around the base. But to go back to first, he has to retrace his steps. He has to touch second again to go back to first. He doesn't do it. You don't need an appeal play. There's the umpire calling the out, and Cano was right on top of it.
So I'd say Mr. Altuve in Kangaroo Court. What's that going to run him? That might be triple, right? He's, as you mentioned during the break, he's the veteran guy, right?
You're absolutely right. Tonight's starting lineup for the Mariners are brought to you by Chevron. Almonte will lead off. Dustin Ackley moves up. He will hit second. 345 average over his last 8 games. And it's Cano, Hart, Smoke. Ramiro getting the start. He will hit 6. Seager, Zunino, and Miller rounding out the 9 for the Mariners. Miller dropping down in the lineup.
Here's Almonte. Just a 268 on base percentage. Mariners hoping he can get cranked here. Getting just 221. He's got 4 doubles and a triple on 1 home run. Lefty Dallas Keuchel on the mound. Comebacker. 1 out.
Take a look at the defense for the Astros. In the outfield, Presley in left, Fowler out in center field. George Springer recently called up. He is in right. Gonzalez and VR on the left side of infield. Altuve and Krause over on the right side. Those guys will be busy tonight. Keuchel, a ground ball pitcher. Jason Castro will do the catching. Take a look at the numbers for Keuchel. He's pitched well, 3.5 ERA. Not overpowering at all. His fastball will be in the upper 80s, but a really good sinker. A true sinker, and he gets a lot of ground ball outs. Also mix in a changeup and a curveball to the lefties. And if you look at Keuchel last year, Dave, Keuchel, when you look at the ground balls that he was 3rd in the Astros history for ground ball out. So he's going to try to pitch down in the zone. Mariners hopefully can get him to elevate the ball and take advantage of that, because he is not an overpowering pitcher, but he can get a lot of ground ball outs.
As a starting staff, the Astros, that's probably their best, strongest suit as a unit. Keuchel, 3 appearances against the Mariners last year, 2 starts. 0-2. 2.40 ERA. Ackley moved way up into the 2-hole now. Got the best batting average on the ball club at 279. Club leader in runs scored with 10. And tied with Smoke and RBIs with 10.
Well, he's been a hot hitter lately, and Lloyd McClendon trying to jumpstart the offense. There's the curveball from Keuchel, hanging in the middle of the plate.
Lloyd had some rough years in Pittsburgh, his first managerial time. And I said, how much is that helping you? A lot. He says, well, you know, if I was a lot younger, I'd probably be looking to throw something. I said, well, we'll batten down all the bases for you then. Quick recall as Ackley strikes out, looking on a 2-2 pitch.
Just a reminder, we're having some technical issues with the tracer, but we'll take a look at this last pitch right at the bottom of the strike zone. He will stay down in that area. If he's getting the strikes called in the bottom part of the zone or just below the knees, that will help Keuchel out. He's an interesting pitcher. When you look at his numbers, without anybody on base, it's a 324 average against him. With runners on, it drops all the way down to a 227 average. And with runners in scoring position, 143. So he typically will try to get a double play ball when he gets into trouble. Probably take a little bit more off, sink the ball some more. Use his changeup effectively.
Keuchel out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. 6'3", 208.
He showed you ground ball, fly ball ratio and percentage of it. 2.1% in his career. Last year he was at 2.5%.
Two and 0 to Cano with 2 out, nobody on. Swing and a miss, 2-1. 1 home run for Robinson. That was down at Texas for his first Safeco Field home run here in 2014. The 2-1 pitch. Center field. Fowler runs it down. A sinking line drive run down by Fowler. Fowler long and lanky in the tradition of Gary Maddox. Second inning coming up. efficiency.
His last start against Texas, you can see fastball percentage of 41%, 30% changeups, and why not? It's one of the best pitches in baseball, but he's also mixed in more curveballs and sliders. But his changeup is his best pitch.
George Springer leading off. Heralded youngster called up last Wednesday. Terrific athlete. They've been waiting for him to get him up here. And a successful farm system last year, the Astros. That all their teams made the playoffs in their respective levels. 1-1. This one popped up, and with room for Mr. Smoke. 1 out. Finally here, by week's end, you're going to be wearing the latest and greatest fashion accessory, the Mariners beard hat. Make sure you join us Friday. First 20,000 fans are going to get this year's retro blonde version, courtesy of Jack Links. For your tickets to Mariners beard hat night, go to mariners.com. We come to you above the A at Safeco Field. Mark Krause, big left-hand hitter, stands in against Felix. In tonight's starting lineup for Bo Porter. 4 starters below the Mendoza line, sub 200 batting average.
See Krause off to a tough start, 38 at bats, hitting just 132.
Astros come to town having been swept in Oakland 11-3, 4-3, and 4-1. Prior to that, swept by Kansas City. And they lost 2 out of 3 at Texas. 2-1. To the gap, Ackley got the read on it. And it came back to him on the slice. Makes the catch, 2-0. Like their communication's getting better by the day.
It's getting better, and it looked that Ackley was letting Almonte know early that he was going to be able to get there in time. A couple of the fly balls to left field looked like they carried out that way a little bit. Keep an eye on that. Doesn't appear to be much of a breeze here tonight.
Alex Presley, the left fielder. Backs up Almonte. And Felix has an easy inning. 1-2-3 go the Astros in the second. No score. for you to tweet your photos using hashtag MarinersFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown later on in the game. Brought to you by AT&T. See if the Mariner offense can get cranking in this 6-game losing streak. Boys have been outscored 34-14. Corey Hart to lead it off. Strike one.
Corey 2 for 6 off of Keuchel. Good news, both those hits were home runs.
Leads the Mariners with 4 home runs and a total bases swinging this, so with 2. Way inside.
See what Corey has done over the last 4 games, hitting an 500 with a home run and a couple of RBIs.
One-two pitch. Back up the middle. Altuve was waiting for it. One out here in the second. Bring up Justin Smoke. He drove in one of the Mariners' 2 runs yesterday. First run, second inning, a sacrifice fly. Ackley had a sac fly in the 4th. Mariners had some opportunities late in the ballgame and left the bases loaded in the 7th and left 2 on in the 9th.
It's interesting. Bo Porter putting the shift on, had it on for Hart. Now he has it again for Smoke, and the difference is that it's around to the left side. You rarely see it with the right-handed hitter up, but Bo Porter looking at the charts and the numbers and going to use it.
And he got a lot of that from Pat Listash, who's the '92 Rookie of the Year with Milwaukee. He's the third base coach. He did a lot of shifting 2 years ago with Chicago. And they were a team that shifted probably more than anybody in the bigs. Ooh, good pitch by Keuchel. I mean, how often, or when you were playing, I mean, how much shifting once or twice a game would be a lot? Now it's like we see it every pitch, it seems like.
Yeah, it's very rare, and it would be a select few hitters that you would even think about doing it on. And now it's changed so much, and we've given the numbers how it's progressed. They're on pace for over 13,000 shifts this year. But to see it this way on the left side of the infield is just something that you rarely see. And he hits right into it.
Sure did. VR, the shortstop.
Doesn't hit it hard, but right at the shortstop.
2 outs. But I mean, you could pick maybe one guy on each team when you were playing. You didn't play that long ago, so I mean, it wasn't that long ago, and there weren't many of them. They just didn't really do it. Yeah.
What we would do is we would shade guys more.
Right, couple 3 steps.
Couple 2-3 steps.
Right.
And now they just move them all around. And I think if you have the data and the information, why not use it?
Down the line, but foul off the bat of Stephen Romero. I mean, this is Mariners' 19th game. And you're probably seeing the shift, what do you think, often 5-6 guys easy every game, right?
Well, we see it with Smoke all the time, especially when he's hitting left-handed. So that's been an automatic as you look at the Mariners. We've seen it some with Kyle Seager this year. We used to never see it with Kyle. Now we see it more often.
On the foul ball off the bat of Romero. Had a great spring after a rugged start. 0 for 16. 4 home runs. Right-handed power. And made the ball club. 2 outs, nobody on. 0-2 hole for him right now. There's Felix. Strong 2 innings thus far. Oh, 2 pitch. 1-2. Really tough talking to Lloyd McClendon today, and he was asked about James Paxton when he might be back, and Lloyd said it could be 6 to 8 weeks. Battling some back issues. Charge play. Romero beat it out. Base hit. Marwin Gonzalez. Nice effort by the Astros third baseman. It's the first hit of the ball game.
With a couple of strikes on Romero, he gets jammed swinging bunt. Gonzalez was playing deep at third. He did everything that he could, but too much speed with Romero to beat it out for an infield hit. First hit of the ball game.
Two outs and a man on for Kyle Seager now. And they've got the shortstop playing straight up the middle against Seager. There's Bo Porter. Right going to Kyle. Paxton, according to Lloyd, out 6 to 8 weeks. Taijuan Walker was in the building. He's a frustrated young man, hoping to get back in action maybe in the next couple of weeks. Iwakuma scheduled to throw again tomorrow. Here's an easy play for Krause, the first baseman. Infield hit. Only action in the Mariners' home second. Before the Mariners hit the road again. Felix Hernandez, strong first 2 innings, 15 pitches in the first inning, 8 in the second. Got the bottom third of the order here. Matt Dominguez, the DH, Marwin Gonzalez, the third baseman, and Jonathan Villar, the shortstop. Dominguez, one of the 4 Astros under the Mendoza line. Down to Seager. 1 out.
Looks like we might have some rain. Roof is starting to close.
Rain's in a forecast for most of this week.
Yeah.
You know, up here in the city, some nice sunshine between about 9 and 12. And what came and went. It was cloudy and got a little bit of sun during BP. I don't know what it was like down your way, but
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, right. For the few seconds we had it, here's Gonzalez, and he sends one to center field. Should I? Should I not? Should I? Should I not?
For the outfielders, it's the toughest one is the one that's hit right at him, and Almonte stopped in his tracks, thought maybe he was going to have to come in and get it, but ended up taking a couple of steps back and made the play.
Should I stay or should I go?
Yeah, the line drive right at him. Good look at our McDonald's Supermo. You see the line drive and his reactions to it. Again, took a step in and then retreated. No problem.
Jonathan VR, the shortstop, at 196. Switch hitter, as was Gonzalez. 1-1. Felix ahead. 1-2, 2 out, nobody on. Well, they came fired up, hoping to get the first Felix strikeout of the evening. A lot of air outs so far. 1-2. Fought it off.
Good fastball off the outside corner. See if Felix comes back with the great changeup here. Try to put him away with it.
Texas and Oakland underway in the Bay Area. 1-1 ball game, bottom of the second. Looking for that K. Don't get it on that.
It was the changeup. Missed down with it.
Two and 2. Strike 3 call. There's your first strikeout of the night. He knew it. 9 pitches. They get his 3 outs in the third. And the cry goes out, get Felix some runs. Your link to What's Next by BECU. You'll always find a lot of convenience without a lot of fees. Become a member at becu.org. And by BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. Roof closing here at Safeco Field. 54 degrees. The rain starting to come. As the Mariners look for some runs here against Dallas Keuchel. Felix, 3 strong innings. The Mariners will send Mike Zunino, Brad Miller, and Abraham Almonte, 8, 9, and 1. Here in the third.
Mike has been swinging the bat well here early in the season. Comes into the game hitting .283 with 3 home runs, 9 RBIs.
tied with Corey Hart. 29 total bases. Good to see from Mike Z. 0-2. And changeup gets him. It's Keuchel's second strikeout.
Keuchel has a good sinker. He throws a lot of two-seamers, but his out pitch is his changeup. Well-located changeup. Pitch looks like it's going to be a fastball at the knees, and by the time you start to attack it, the bottom drops out of it. 30 pitches, 22 strikes, throwing a lot of strikes.
There's Brad Miller looking to break an 0 for 10, just 3 for 23 on a road trip. Got to beat his grandmother Charlotte, who was in down in Miami over the weekend. Brad's mom and dad knows her baseball. Easy trip down for Miller family from Orlando. 1-1. Weak wave full 1-2.
Brad was off to a fast start this year. And he's been struggling lately, so Lloyd McClendon trying to take some pressure off of him, dropping him down in the lineup. Hopefully that'll help get him going again.
Break 3 called. 2 outs. 2 outs here in the Mariners. Third save big when you join us for the first midweek Mariners matinee of the season. This Wednesday, Mariners and the Astros, 12:40 start time. And pick up a ticket, a hot dog, and a Pepsi for each member of your family for as low as $15. It's all part of Safeco Insurance Grand Slam Family Package. Stay at the ballpark, so get your tickets at Mariners.com. Top of the order now, Monte. What is it with pitchers? Headline just moving here. Chris Sale of the Chicago White Sox hurt. Yep, soreness in his arm after a 127 pitch outing against Boston. He'll miss tomorrow's start in Detroit against Verlander. 15-day DL. Receiving treatment prior to tonight's opener.
So it's not just the Mariners or the American League West.
Right?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of it.
I mean, it's extraordinary.
Every other day, somebody else goes down.
Well, the injury bug is not passed over pitchers in the American League West. Kuma set to throw tomorrow. So he's working his way back in. Way out front. What a pitch by Keuchel. 2-2.
He's mixed in a few curveballs, but he's basically staying with the two-seamer and his changeup.
Inside, counts full. Monte tapped back to the pitcher first time. Three to 2. Two ball to VR. Takes his time, throws him out. Both pitchers on top of their games here tonight. No score at Safeco Field. mentioned, home for just the week. Houston, and then the Rangers come to town, then back east for the Yankees, to Texas, and then to Oakland, and then back home for Kansas City. Zig, zag, zig, and zag.
Well, and hopefully you can see the competition. The Yankees are in first place. The A's are on a great run. The Rangers, tough team, too, so the Mariners have their work cut out for them. Hopefully, when they move into May, things will turn around for them on that end of it.
Breaking ball to Altuve for ball one. Walked to start the ball game. Then had the back end of an inning-ending double play. Fly ball hit by Castro to left field. He got the second. On the way back, didn't retouch second. Cano saw it and took the relay from Brad Miller. Touched up second base. Jeff Nelson, the second base umpire, he was paying attention as well. And the Mariners got a double play out of it. Didn't like that call. Fun talking to Rick Waits. Asked him about Felix. He's a pitching coach. And you got to feel really good. He says, well, you know, I got him pretty well memorized right now. Oh, nice play by Seager. I'm used to seeing that one out. So I got him memorized. So just in case I see something, I can go tell him about it. But he said he is the epitome of confidence to throw any pitch at any time. And the hitters know that, and that's an advantage.
A little short hop down to Kyle Seager at third. No problem. Take one step in, smothers it. I was talking to Rick Waits about Felix too, and he, as any pitching coach would, he had a smile on his face, and he said that the one thing that he watches him throw his curveball, because Felix wants him to keep an eye on that, make sure he's staying on top of it. And he said outside of that, not much.
Yeah, it's a comfort. He said, hey, it's like anytime you send your number one out there, but it's a little more special with this guy. There's Rick, the left-hander in his day, 12, 13 years in the bigs.
Take a look at the fastball and changeup for Felix over the last 2 years. You can see in 2013, the dark blue, it was at 57% fastballs, 19% changeups. Almost a 10% difference as he's moved into this year. A lot more changeups, and when you have a changeup like his, why not? As you can take a look at it, he's up to 28% changeups now, 48% fastballs. So, although he mixes in his curveball and his slider, he likes to throw those pitches too. He knows his bread and butter is that changeup, and he has a great feel for it.
Got one strikeout, looking for his second. A pitch outside, 2-2. Kings Court disagreeing with Les Diaz. Not a big group, but a vocal group. Having some technical difficulties. Working to get the tracer back for you. 2-2 and slowed down. Here's Miller. No play as Fowler. Long strider got down the line. That'll be a base hit. First of the night.
Like Felix was able to help himself out and get his glove on it, just a piece of it that was headed back up the middle. I thought maybe there would be a play for Brad Miller, who was charging hard, but again, Fowler has a lot of speed, and Brad decides not to throw it.
First Houston hit brings up catcher Jason Castro. Made the All-Star team, made the All-Star game last year, but did not play. First Astro catcher to make it since Craig Biggio. Runner goes. Throw by Zunino. Not in time. Stolen base for Fowler. He's 2 for 2.
Well, maybe Mike had a chance, but he throws the baseball on the wrong side of the bag. You can see Brad Miller having to come all the way back around to put the tag on Fowler. Let's see if Brad keeps the tag on him just in case his hand comes off the base. It looked like it didn't. Yeah, the throw was there in time. It was just on the wrong side.
Chuno.
Dave mentioned, Castro an all-star last year, but some early season struggles, hitting just 200.
Team batting average, you saw that, 192.
Yep, I did.
New definition for struggle. My goodness. Two and one to Castro. Good speed at second and Fowler. They'll have to hold. Miller throws across. 2 outs here in the Astros 4th. Ride with all your fans on Sound Transit and enjoy freedom from traffic and parking. Plan your next trip. Visit soundtransit.org. Two outs, man at second for George Springer.
Springer, a big prospect with the Astros, just called up. He's played in 5 games. He's hit in all 5 games. And he popped out to first his first time up. Smoke and foul territory, catching the pop up.
He's out of New Britain, Connecticut. His mother, a gymnast throughout her college years. And George indulged up to the age of 11. He can still do a standing backflip. I'm sure Bo Porter doesn't need to. I'll take your word for it. Don't do anything dangerous out here.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't want to see it.
Bo a DB, a defensive back at Iowa for Hayden Fry during his college years. Ground ball to Miller. And he throws out Springer. A base hit, a stolen base by Fowler, the only offense by the Astros in the 4th. T-shirt and a K card. For more info, consult mariners.com/Felix. These folks enjoying their night here. Happy Felix night, everybody. See if the Mariners can get going here. 4th inning against Dallas Keuchel. Felix doing his job. 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and has held Houston to 1 hit. Ackley, Cano, and Hart here in the 4th. Ackley first time up. 2-2 pitch, took a called 3rd strike. Ball 1 to Ackley. There's strike 1. Haven't seen the Ackley boys yet. Long run out of play. Long run for Alex Presley. 1-2 strikes.
An infield hit for Stephen Romero and an infield hit for Dexter Fowler. That has been it so far tonight.
One and two. Bounce foul. Oakland's taking a 3-1 lead on Texas, now top the third in Oakland. Did he go? Did not, says Marcus Portillo. 2-2.
We'll take a look at it. It probably could have gone either way. A break for Dustin. How about Oakland? 13-5. They've won 3 in a row, and now they're out to an early lead. They're really playing some good baseball.
And Ackley repeats the first inning, takes a called third strike on a 2-2 pitch. That is the 4th strikeout for Keuchel.
We'll take a look at the location of the last pitch. It looks like it's a fastball on the outside corner.
Still shaking your head about Oakland?
No, not anymore. I think I'm coming around like the rest of the country that they're for real. And I was wondering this year because, like the Mariners, they had some pitching issues coming out of spring training.
Oh, yeah, 2 studs, right?
Yeah, and I was wondering how they were going to handle that. Well, they went had their long guy Jesse Chavez jump into the rotation, and he has pitched great. So I'm a believer. You're going to have to flat out beat them.
Cano behind 0-2. Angels won at Washington 4-3. Mike Trout 2 for 5. Bryce Harper 0 for 3. A lot of headlines for those 2 guys coming into today's ballgame. Here's Cano 0 for 2.
I heard a lot of people today trying to compare the two. I don't see how you can.
Trout's way ahead.
I think so, and I think that they're different enough too, where it's a hard comparison to make. But Trout is way ahead. I would agree. I know that Harper is a year younger. Did they sign the same year? Did they come out in the same draft? I think so.
I think they did.
Yeah.
1-2 to Cano. Harper's hitting .279. Trout's hitting .313.
Pardon me.
Trout's hitting .313. Harper .279.
And Trout, last 2 years, runner-up MVP in the American League.
Hello. And what was it? Cano bounces one foul. A lot of his sabermetric numbers are off the chart. Just 2 hits so far in this ballgame. Both of them have been infield hits. 2 to Cano. Two. And Cano's aboard. First walk issued by Keuchel. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. 1 out, 1 on for Corey Hart.
Corey 0 for 1, a ground out to second, his first time up.
Shift on again for him. Tuve on the third base side, up the middle.
We were talking about the shift, and we were talking about it earlier with Hart and Smoke. Both of them hitting right-handed in this game and swinging things around to the left side. I've had some people ask me, well, why don't they just try to just shove the ball over to the right side, inside out, hit it the other way? Well, the reason why Bo Porter will put this shift on is he knows that Corey Hart and Justin Smoke are both in the lineup to try to hit the ball in the gap or out of the ballpark. And so if they want to try to do that, I think he feels that they'd be doing him a favor. That's through the shift there.
Line drive moves Cano to second base with one out. 2 on here for the Mariners.
Lloyd McClendon, he wants them to swing it and try to drive the baseball, and that's what Corey does here. Solid line drive, back up the middle, gets a pitch he can handle in the middle of the plate. And it's been a hot hitter for the Mariners. Good to see. I thought it would take him a little more time after all of his surgeries and the amount of time that he missed. I thought it would take him at least a month into the season to get things going, but he's been swinging the bat well.
5-game hitting streak. 9 for his last 18.
Yep, 500. So he's been swinging the bat well. Bring in Smoke. Smoke grounded out to short his first time up. Be the first opportunity for the Mariners to hit with runners in scoring position tonight.
Smoke and Ackley co-leaders for the Mariners with 10 runs batted in. Opportunity, a good one here for the Mariners. Astros just coming back from Oakland. They were down 7-0 in a game. Jed Lowry, the shift was on for him. He bunted away from it. Bo Porter got a little bit ticked off, but hey, he's doing his job. Get on base. Why would you get?
They were up or down?
Oakland was up 7-0. You understand?
I can understand.
Yeah, but I know where you're coming from. But you know what? Hey, Lowry might have been struggling like heck for a hit and keep the inning going. But if he's going to shift, he's going to give it to him. Come on.
Well, Lowry picked up a hit, didn't he?
It's a knock, baby.
Maybe it'll make him think about it the next time.
It is a knock. One and two to Smoke. One and two.
Yeah, we showed the numbers earlier. When the bases are empty, the batting average against Keuchel is a 324 clip with runners on. He drops that average down to 227 against him, which is the situation he is in now. Runners in scoring position, it's even better, 143.
Smoke on the season, his batting average runners in scoring position 308 with a homer and 9 RBIs. 2-2 count. Just enough piece of that 2-2. Full count.
One of the things that's interesting about it, too, is when you look at the infield and the shift pulled around, the right fielder for the Astros, who is Springer, you can see the gap in right center field. He has stayed in his position. The left fielder is more towards the line. The center fielder barely shading Fowler.
Slow roller. VR. We get one, and they take out Altuve. Good hard slide by Corey Hart to break up the double play. Smoke on with a fielder's choice. Cano to third.
Well, you never know what the difference in a game is going to be. This looks like it possibly was going to be a double play. Some good hard baseball by Corey Hart. You can see the flip. It's a good feed. But Corey Hart, as long as he can touch the base, he is okay. And he goes in, takes out the legs of Altuve to keep him from finishing the double play.
6-6 on 5-8. Nice job by Altuve. No transfer issues here, Mike.
Good. Good hard slide by Hart. Romero with an infield hit his first time, up 1-for-1.
Good opportunity for him. Check swing. He did go, says Les Diaz. There's Bo Porter. Tremblay on the left. Bench coach, former manager of the Orioles. So popped up. Krause taking a look. Got room. Makes the play, and that'll do it for the Mariners. They leave 2 in the 4th in a scoreless ball game. Meet for the first time this season. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, Root Sports crew. Roof covering us from the rain early on in the ball game. Mark Krause, Alex Presley, Matt Dominguez against Felix, 5, 6, and 7. Felix with 1 strikeout, 1 walk, has given up an infield hit to Fowler back in the 4th.
Both clubs 0-for-2 with runners in scoring position. The way both pitchers are going, you get the feeling that it's either going to be a mistake or a home run. That's going to be the difference in this one. Bunching hits together looks like it's going to be tough.
Tremendous pitch by Felix, 1-2.
50 pitches, 31 strikes. I thought it was interesting. Felix threw that pitch, the pitch before, and Zunino immediately went out to the mound. And he comes right back with it again, and it was a much better pitch.
Strike 3 called. That was an absolute dart. The inside corner. Here's Angie Menta.
Thanks so much. Felix Hernandez on the hill tonight for the Mariners. Yu Darvish on the Hill as well for the Texas Rangers. These two teams met in Texas, and it was fantastic. We hope it stays on track for later this week. Tonight, Darvish facing the A's. Oakland gets to the A's early. 2-on for Coco Cressy. Singles to left, drives in a pair. The A's open a 3-1 lead on Darvish. Right now, it's 3-2. Guys, let's hope we see this again on Saturday.
That'd be a good matchup, no question about it. Thank you, Andrew.
You can see what they're doing tonight. Felix obviously against these Astros, and Darvish against the A's. 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He does have 4 strikeouts.
In the dirt to Alex Presley. Applied out to center his first time. Got a 1-1 count.
If that matchup works out to where it's that, yeah, it would be great to see it again. It was a lot of fun watching the two of them go at it in Texas.
Darvish stays on normal rest. Get our wish. Solid base hit back up the middle. Felix has already been announced for Saturday's Almonte. Lets it get by him. Taking the extra bag is Presley.
That will be an E8. Let's take a look at it. Solid base hit. It's hit hard back up the middle. It was a changeup that was up. Strange. Got both hands down, head is down. I don't see him looking up at all. Just missed it.
Wow. Runner in scoring position for Matt Dominguez. That grounded out to third. Both teams with 2 hits. Second time Houston's got a runner to second base.
There's one out. They had a runner at second. In the 4th inning, Dexter Fowler with a base hit and then stole second. Felix had a couple of ground ball outs to get out of the inning.
Into the glove of Zunino. Ball and 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts tonight for Felix. American League leader in strikeouts. 1 walk. Look at the key card and the wrestling mask. One-two pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Rick waits. You can see him next to Lloyd. The pitch before, it looked like Felix on his front leg, his left foot, he had his spikes caught up in the mound. It was awkward looking, so I think they just wanted to make sure he was going to be okay. He looked fine on that fastball.
Drive to left. Going back, Ackley. Gone. 2-run homer, Matt Dominguez, his 3rd home run. RBI 6 and 7, and Houston has a 2-0 lead. Got it on a 2-2 pitch.
Looked like it was the changeup from Felix. See Zunino set up away with it. Pitch ran back in the middle. Typically that pitch will be further down, but Felix left it about mid-thigh.
3rd home run allowed by Felix. 2nd on the ball club to Ramirez, who's given up 4. Broken bat. Ground ball over to Seager. Throws out Gonzalez. 2 down. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitting shortstop Jonathan Villar. Struck out his first time up. 2-run homer, Matt Dominguez. 2-0 Astros. For the Astros, that was their 21st home run as a team. It started tonight 4th in the American League.
That's how they score their runs. is with the home run. As you mentioned, Dave, 21 home runs, 54 runs on the year.
I know, I saw that number. Astonishing. Ground ball, Miller slings it over, and that'll do it. Big blow at Dominguez, 2-run homer. Felix and the Mariners trail 2-0. Let's check out our CenturyLink. Link to what's next. Game 2 starters. Scott Feldman, the veteran, against Erasmo Ramirez. Ramirez.
They've been struggling lately. He needs to find a way to get deeper into some games. His last 3 outings have not gone well.
You want Dallas Keuchel now. He's been staked to a 2-0 lead. Matt Dominguez with the 2-run homer. Mariners to send up Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino, and Brad Miller. Kyle today so far has grounded out the first.
Double check, but I thought I saw that the Astros had put Feldman on the DL right before the game.
Correct on that one. 1-1 to Seager.
67 pitches, 45 strikes. Keuchel.
On 2 strikes.
Kyle didn't like that call. He thought that fastball was off the plate away.
Oh, 2 strikes. Missed away. That one full count.
Every club has hitters that struggle early on, and I think for the Mariners, Kyle, he might be the most important one for them to get going just because he can produce some runs for them. So he struggled here the first 18 games into the season. It's not much, and I think that he will get it turned around. But
also added the fact that he had the bad second half. Well, I wouldn't say bad second half, but certainly cooler than what he had in the first half as he singles up the middle on a 3-2 pitch.
Well, that'll help. Kyle, the MVP of the club the last 2 years. He's important to him. Take a look at it. Solid base hit back up the middle. Looks like he cut fastball, tried to get it on the outside corner, left it middle away. Good look at our McDonald Supermo.
Gotta have him going. 22 home runs, 69 RBIs last year, 20 and 86 the year before. Here's Zunino. Let's pitch up high for ball one. He struck out on 3 pitches, first time up. Clinton saying, hey, everybody goes through a funk. So the last time I looked, it's a 162 game schedule. There's no panic here. Clearly. So I'm not going to change. He says, I'm fighting for him. Fighting for him all the way, talking about his players. But he says, just right now, we're just not getting it done. They had a good talk in Miami. Told his team to just relax. 2-0. Now 3-0. Brad Miller's on deck. Outside corner, 3-1. Ackley looking to swing the bat here in this inning as Zunino looks at strike 2, full count.
As far as holding runners on, Keuchel, for left-handed moves, I would say his is average. I don't think Kyle Seager will try to steal a base.
He's no Joe Beimel.
No, he's not Joe Beimel.
Runner goes. Drive to deep left center field. It will get down. Seager making his way to third. He'll get the stop sign. Zunino with a double. Nobody out here in the 5th.
Mark Zunino swung the bat well here early. Again, came into the game hitting .283 with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Perfectly placed fly ball into the gap.
Presley making a diving attempt, can't get it. Zunino with his 4th double of the season. Seager to third, and it sets up for Brad Miller.
I'd like to see the Mariners right now offensively get Felix right back into the ball game. Great opportunity for him. Second and third, nobody out. Mariners 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position.
Good a time as any for Brad Miller to get hot again. 0 for his last 11.
Really like to see Brad get a pitch that he can handle, something he can pull. Base hit would be great, but if he makes it out, you'd like to get the runner in and move Zunino up to third. That's what he tried to do. Unfortunately, it was a breaking ball away from him, trying to get out in front of it. It's 78 miles an hour, 78 pitches now for Keuchel.
Single and a double. Puts the Mariners in good shape. This by the bottom of the order. Miller, the 9-hole hitter today. He's behind 0-2.
And remember, Keuchel runners in scoring position, a 143 average against him.
Nice dig by Cashville. 1-2. Huge opportunity. 1-2 pitch here to Miller. Struck him out. He's in a bad state right now. It's second time he struck out. That's the 5th K of the evening for Dallas Keuchel.
Goes to another breaking ball. Yep, it's the breaking ball right here off the plate away. Well located pitch for Keuchel. You look at our McDonald's Supermo. Brad out in front of this pitch, not able to keep his hands back.
Chance for Almonte. He's 0 for 2. Tapper back to the pitcher and a ground out to short. Into Almonte. He's got 6 runs batted in so far. Way out front. His off-speed work has been outstanding tonight. 1-1.
To the right-handers, he's throwing his fastball inside using the cutter, and then he's going back away with the changeup. Even though he may miss with a pitch inside, he's trying to speed him up, and then it's when he comes back with the changeup.
One to Almonte. Missed away. 2 balls, 1 strike. Down the line, that's a fair ball. That'll tie this game up. Almonte will get the second as Springer has trouble digging it out. 2-run double by Almonte. Got a brand new ball game at 2-2 for Almonte. His 5th double in RBI 7 and 8. Seager scores and Zunino scores.
Big hit for the Mariners as a group. It's a fastball away from him. A little bit late on it, slices it right inside the bag, but a big hit for the Mariners to tie this game up, get Felix right back into the game. Now you're looking to add on, Dave, add on some runs, get Felix the lead.
Ackley struck out looking twice, both time on 2-2 pitches.
With that base hit from Almonte, the Mariners are 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position tonight.
Oh for 5, losing that finale yesterday at Miami 3-2. You're 1. Pulled that string again, didn't he? 0-2.
It's a good shot of Howard Johnson, the hitting coach, talking to Kyle Seager. Kyle with a base hit to start the inning, ended up scoring the first run.
Ackley in an 0-2 hole. Almonte, the go-ahead run at second base. Pitch struck him out. 3rd K for Ackley. Half a dozen strikeouts in the night for Dallas Keuchel.
Well, again, he goes to the breaking ball against the left-handers. He likes his changeup to the righties, and this is another breaking ball similar to the pitch to Brad Miller, down and off the plate away.
Brings up Cano. Fly to center and a walk. 2-2 ball game on the Almonte double down the right field line.
Good news for the Mariners with this inning. Keuchel's pitch count starting to get up there on him. 87 pitches.
Ball 1 to Cano.
.24 pitches in the inning.
Good speed at second and Almonte 1-0. Breaking ball for strike. 1-1. Good look from out of foul pole, King's Court, and off the fist and fouled back 1-2. Mike Zunino with a double, scores on the double by Almonte after Seager got things started on a 3-2 pitch. He singled up the middle.
One of the things the Mariners might file away with Keuchel on the mound, they'll see him probably a couple of times this year, is when he goes to that quick pitch, the slide step. Typically he's throwing a fastball inside.
1-2. Missed away. Count evens. Said at the top of the program, something's got to give. Astros have lost 7 consecutive ball games, a 6-game losing streak for the Mariners. Keuchel with 6 strikeouts tonight. His career best is 9. 2-2. Get number 7. But a good start and a middle portion of this inning for the Mariners as they answer the 2 put on the board by Houston at the top of this inning. A slicing ground ball down the right field line by Abraham Almonte, even to score 2-2. Time for our Seattle City Light power play, and power indeed by Matt Dominguez. 2-2 pitch, and he rides it out of here. Dominguez, his 3rd home run. RBI 6 and 7 into the bullpen. Mariners though come back as Altuve now as we get back to live action down the left field line. And Ackley will get it back in. A leadoff double by Altuve, his first hit tonight. His 4th double of the season.
That home run by Dominguez is the 3rd home run that Felix has given up this year. Altuve's a good player. I had a chance to see him a lot last year, and I thought he was a tough little out for the Astros. Leadoff hitter, good second baseman.
One thing we learned about him last year, he does not cheat himself up at that plate. Fowler, the hitter. Fly to left.
Kyle Seager expecting the bunt at 3rd.
Infield hit one back through the box, and Felix slowed up. Brad Miller held on to it. Chose not to try to throw him. He got an easy base hit. Zunino on it. Throw down. Safe. Oh, brother.
Kyle dropped the ball down at 3rd. It was a good play by Zunino. He's a good athlete, and he was able to get out from behind home plate in a hurry and made a good throw to Kyle, and Kyle just dropped it. Here's a look at it. Perfect throw.
E5 on Seager, and the Astros have runners at the corners, nobody out, and their 3-hole hitter Jason Castro be the hitter. Great backhand stop by Zunino.
Felix came into the game with 39 strikeouts. You can use one here. 66 pitches, 41 strikeouts for Felix. First and third, nobody out.
Fowler's already stolen one base, his second of the season. He's 2 for 2. Castro 2 for 7 against Felix. Now Felix behind 2-0. Now 3-0. McClendon never patient. Got his big guy out there on the mound. George Springer's the on deck hitter. He's 0 for 2. Loose 3-0, swing and a miss.
Smart pitch from Felix. He had a sense that he would be swinging, so Felix threw him the changeup. Didn't give in to him with a 3-0 fastball.
It's hit plenty deep for Altuve. Coming over Ackley. Altuve tags. Throw cut off by Miller. Astros back in front now, 3-2. Sacrifice fly by Castro. That'll be his 7th RBI. And for Castro, first sacrifice fly of the season.
I think we were talking about it in these types of games, home run or a mistake, and we've seen both. The home run by Dominguez and now the error by Kyle down at third. Difference in this game. We'll have to keep an eye on Fowler. With one out, he may try to steal it again.
Let's take along with him.
He had a stolen base in the 4th inning.
One of the things that the Astros have had success in. Stolen base back and forth, the 16th for the ball club. They're 2nd in the league. His hand strike to Springer's fouled out to Smoke and grounded out to shortstop. Season so far for Felix, 3-0 with a 1.91 ERA coming into tonight's action. Big rip by Springer, 0-2.
Felix now at 72 pitches. Runner holds back inside and missed. 1-2.
Minus 10-9 against the Astros last year, 3-6 here in Seattle. That's with 2 strikeouts thus far, 1-2. House game, Fowler and Felix.
Probably one of the areas that Felix has improved on the most since he first came to the big leagues, his ability to hold runners at first. He works hard at it.
1-2, runner goes. Then on the transfer, Zunino. And the ball squirted out of his hand, so another stolen base for Fowler, his second tonight, as Springer strikes out.
We'll take a look at this last pitch. It's the changeup, circle change. Good movement on it. And that is his pitch, the changeup. You can see his whip percentage, 58% on his changeup.
Two for 2 nights stealing bases for Fowler, gives him 3 in the season. There's Mike Krause, first baseman. He's flying to left and struck out looking.
Astros 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position tonight. You see Krause has really struggled here early in the season. Just a 125 average.
Two-0. Dallas Keuchel has got the lead again at 3-2. He's pitched well. He struck out 7 tonight. Fouled off the glove of Zunino. Felix going against Mark Krause, a 209 hitter last year. 52 games for the Astros. 4 homers and 13 runs batted in. Good speed out at second and Fowler. One with a strike, 2-2. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk for Felix.
I just showed you the whiff percentage, 58% on his changeup. That was a good fastball on the inside corner. See if he puts him away at the changeup here in 2-2 count. Two.
Line to right field. Romero up with it. Fowler watching a play all the way, and he's going to score easily. 4-2 Houston. RBI for Krause, his 3rd of the year.
.92 miles an hour. That looks like his fastball. Tried to throw a fastball in the outside corner. Krause lines it into right field.
Inning continues with Alex Presley. Fly to center, single to center, and a run scored. Scored that run back in the 5th. He is the 6th man to the plate here in the 6th inning. Fly ball right field and deep. Going back, Romero running out of row. Can't get it. Coming around is Krause, digging for 3. And holding there is Presley. An RBI triple. So for Presley, his first triple of the campaign, his 5th RBI.
Good job.
Romero, take a look at it. The swing looks like another fastball, and Romero going back as you look at our McDonald's Supermo. Goes right back into the corner and looked like it went off the glove of Romero as he goes up trying to keep it into the ballpark. Goes right off the end of his glove. Rick Waite's the pitching coach out at the mound talking to Felix, and now the Astros have had their struggles this year. 3 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
A big inning for Houston. Great effort. Tough break that he couldn't hold on.
That'll bring up Dominguez. Dominguez homered his last time up, a 2-run home run.
This one hammered deep to left. Ackley going back on the track. He can't get that. Scoring is Presley. And holding at second with an RBI double met Dominguez. So the Houston Astros opening it up against Felix here. 6-2 lead now.
Dominguez 3 RBIs in the game. It's back-to-back outfielders for the Mariners crashing into the wall. Dominguez again homered before. This one gets in on his hands a little bit, jams him just enough to keep it in the ballpark, and Ackley slams into the wall.
3 consecutive hits now by the Astros. Single, triple, double, and all 3 producing runs. Marwin Gonzalez, he's the 8th man to the plate here in the 6th inning. Bouncing ball to Cano. That'll end it. 4 runs, 4 hits, an error, and a man left. A big inning for Houston against the King at 6-2 Astros. On your favorite mobile phone or tablet, get live look-ins, instant replay, score, stats, audio, and free MLB.TV game of the day and more. So download from the App Store or visit Mariners.com today. 4 runs on 4 hits, an error, and a man left, all unearned. As the Astros have opened up a 6-2 lead. Work to do for the Mariners. Corey Hart, Justin Smoke, and Stephen Romero. Dallas Keuchel struck out 7, walked 1. Corey Hart 1 for 2 on the night.
Doesn't happen very often, Dave, with Felix on the mound. But every now and then you'd like to see the offense pick him up. Most of the time he'll take care of his own business, but the Astros have been able to put 6 runs on the board on him, and it'd be nice to see the offense pick him up tonight. Keuchel now at 96 pitches for the game.
Very hard. 1-2 pitch strikes out. That's 3 consecutive strikeouts, 8 for the ballgame for Dallas Keuchel.
Felix gave up 2 runs in the 5th inning, and the Mariners offensively were able to come right back and score 2 runs to tie the game up. Bring up Justin Smoke. Justin's 0 for 2 tonight.
Keuchel with the 8 Ks, one away from his career best from last September 13th against the Angels. Bounced up there 2-0. Keuchel's been sharp tonight. The 8 Ks, 3 in a row. He's way behind here. Smoke 3-0. Stephen Romero on deck. Shift on again for Smoke. Strike 1 from Keuchel. Three and 2.
Nobody working in either bullpen. Keuchel at 102 pitches.
Payoff pitch. Slicing drive, right field. George Springer's right there. Barely had to move, 2 outs. Keuchel, a 7th round pick by Houston in the June 09 draft. Major League debut in 2012. He went 3-8, 6-10 last year.
Mariners were able to make him work in the 4th and 5th innings. Up to that point, he was on cruise control. Now with a 4-run lead, he'll be more aggressive with this 2-seam fastball. Probably fewer changeups and curveballs, trying to stay ahead of guys. He doesn't want to walk any hitters now.
Oh, 0-2 to Romero. Mariners got their runs in the 5th inning. A 1-out, 2-run double down the right field line by Almonte, scoring Seager and Zunino. That is a fair ball. Blistering line drive past the diving Gonzalez. Digging for second is Romero, and he gets in there. Romero with his 2nd double of the year comes with 2 outs here in the 6th.
Looks like Stephan takes advantage of a mistake after a couple of fastballs. Keuchel wanting to bury a changeup, but he leaves it up in the zone, and Romero rips it down the line. His 2nd base hit of the game. Just out of the reach of Gonzalez down at 3rd.
Here's Seager. The next hitter jumped all over that mistake. Seager hit a ball hard up the middle, leading off the 5th, and came around and scored in the Almonte double. Strike 1.
Chad Qualls, veteran right-hander, getting loose in the pen.
Been around. Seager behind. 0-2. Six runs, 7 hits, no errors for Houston. 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors by the Mariners. No advancement. 0-2 strikes. Top of the 6th, Texas and Oakland now tied at 3-3. Howard Johnson going through some charts, a hitting coach. 1-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Seager. Worked the full count. Mike Zunino on deck if Kyle can keep it going here with 2 outs and a man at second. Dribble foul off the foot.
Bill Porter not afraid to let his starters go. 111 pitches now for Keuchel.
Supposedly they have tremendous depth in their farm system of pitching. Altuve takes care of this and throws out Seager. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. 6 complete here at Safeco Field. Felix down 6-2. Mike has really been good tonight.
He has been. We heard about his ability to get a lot of ground ball outs and the average that he posts when runners get in scoring position, and we're seeing that tonight. A lot of ground ball outs and some strikeouts from him. He's been tough on the left-handed hitters, and the Mariners just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Again, with runners in scoring position, he came in with just a 143 average against. So we've seen that from him. 113 pitches for him so far. 6 hits over the 6 innings he has worked. Both runs were earned. Just 1 walk and 8 strikeouts for Keuchel.
On the other side of the coin, not a good night for Felix Hernandez. In the 6th inning, Houston sent 8 men to the plate, scored 4 unearned runs on 4 hits. Big night for Matt Dominguez, their DH, a 2-run homer. He's got an RBI double. Just look at Jonathan Villar leading off here in the 7th, and he's in an 0-2 hole. Felix has struck out 3 tonight, walked 1. All 2 strikes. Almonte giving ground, going back, makes the play. 1 out here in the 7th. Back to the top of the order, and Jose Altuve. 1 for 2 with a walk, scored back in the 6th inning, hit a double down the left field line. It's their leading hitter. Got that average up to 286.
We are seeing some long fly ball outs and base hits off of Felix. Typically don't see the ball in the air as much.
Long run for Romero into foul territory.
What an effort.
And that just got into the seats.
It looked like he was able to get his hand, even though he was in the slide, up over the short railing.
Big glove. Ooh, man.
I would have liked to have seen the rest of that.
Yeah. Good effort.
Glad he was able to get his elbow up over the railing.
Oh, 1.
Take another look at Stephen Romero.
Fan cut. He was in great shape. Nice job by Smokey, taking himself. 2 outs. 2 down here in the 7th. Join us tomorrow during the Mariners Astros game for Twitter Tuesday. You're going to have 4 chances to win exciting prizes just by interacting with us on Twitter throughout the ballgame. We're going to be posting questions, and we want to hear from you, so be sure to watch and follow us on Twitter at RootsSports_NW. Winners will be chosen at random. For giveaway rules, visit us at rootsports.com. Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, 1 for 2. He stolen 2 bases and scored a run. 1 for 3 night. An infield hit. It's the first hit. The Astros in the 4th off the glove of Felix. Foul.
Starting to get some action in the Mariner pen. It looks like it's Tom Wilhelmsen. Chad Qualls is up getting loose in the Astros bullpen. After 113 pitches, it looks like Keuchel is done for the night.
3-1.
Veteran right-hander, 35 years old, Chad Qualls. Good sinker.
3-1 pitch here to Fowler. Miss. Three strikeout night for Felix. Three-two pitch. Got him looking. Strikeout number 4. That'll do it for the Astros. 1, 2, 3. They go in the 7th. Mariners need some runs, down 6-2. the Department of Imagination. What would you do if you won? New pitcher on for the Astros, who have a 6-2 lead here in the home seventh at Seattle. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. Not a big crowd, but they're into it. Hoping for the Mariners to rally here.
Chad Qualls is going to take over for Dallas Keuchel. He's a good sinker, veteran, has been around for a while. Also mix in a slider. This will be his 7th appearance on the year. Actually has a save for the Astros this year. High ERA at a 9. Opponent's average 4.62. So hopefully the Mariners keep that trend going. Get something started.
Mariners trying to end a 6-game losing streak. Astros trying to end a 7-game losing streak. Mike Zunino is going to get things started here in the 7th, followed by Brad Miller and Abraham Almonte. Zunino 1 for 2 and a run scored. Mariners' big inning was the 5th. 2 runs on 3 hits. Seager led off with a single to center, a double to left by Zunino. And out later, Almonte sliced one down the right field line, scored 2, but been too much power and consistency by the Astros. Swing and a miss. Matt Dominguez, their DH, 2 for 3. 2-run homer and an RBI double. Got a sac fly from Castro. RBI single from Krause and Presley with an RBI triple.
Well, hopefully the Mariners can get something going. With Qualls, he's pitched 5 innings, given up 12 hits in the 5 innings, including a home run.
Plays Zunino straight away for the most part. Pitch off the plate. Altuve shading more towards the bag, the second baseman. Bo Porter and Dave Tremblay. Long road trip for these Astros. Zunino gets into one high and deep down the left field line, but it is hooking foul. Man, he hit that a long way. About 3 rows.
It was almost up on the railroad tracks.
That's impressive.
Take a look at the swing by Mike Zunino. A lot of power in this swing already. 3 home runs, and he barrels that pitch up. Unfortunately, was not able to keep it fair.
Lloyd going to come out and challenge.
It was hard to tell because the ball was up over the foul pole.
Just want to review. Marcus Patillo. There's a look. It's our high first base camera. Right there. Yep, there's a curve. And they're going to take a look.
It's just a review. There's no challenge on it. But their umpires can review it, and it looks like they're going to.
Home run and collision reviews initiated by the crew chief. A lot of rules.
Jeff Nelson, the crew chief tonight.
Certainly, that's the longest ball we have seen Zunino hit. There's Les Diaz.
That is a great look, isn't it?
Really well done. Good work by Les.
Yep.
Third base umpire's called.
They're just getting a great look, though. I mean, sometimes the guys need some help, and they're out there to help each other. That's why they're a crew. Try to help each other out. And it will be a foul ball.
From first base side, here's no look. So 2-2 here to Mike Zunino, leading off the seventh. Minute 25 seconds on that replay review, and Zunino strikes out. Miller struck out looking and swinging tonight. Losing sleeve. See Brad in long sleeves going with the short sleeves here tonight. At the end of the bat, Gonzalez is up close, throws him out. Quick 2 outs here in the seventh. Your kids can say hello to Cano when they sport the newcomer's name on their back this Sunday. All youngsters 14 and under are going to get a free Robinson Cano t-shirt as part of Boeing Salute the Kids Day. Bring the kids out to the ball game. Pick up your tickets at Mariners.com.
Abraham Almonte 1 for 3. Had a double his last time up and driven in the 2 runs for the Mariners tonight. Tom Wilhelmsen continues to throw in the Mariners pen, so it looks like Felix's night is done. There's Tom.
Was it Felix's night? Inside 2-0. Back with a strike. 14,630 on hand here tonight. Two and 1, 2 out, nobody on. Three and 1. We give Almonte a huge gap between Fowler and Springer, the center fielder and right fielder. Ackley's on deck. 3-2.
Well, if he finds it, that is going to be an easy triple.
Ball's ready with the 3-2 pitch. 2 out, nobody on. Struck him out. Been a bad night offensively for the Mariners. They go 1-2-3 in the seventh. Houston leads 6-2. 6-2 lead for Houston as we move to the 8th inning here at Safeco Field. Tom Wilhelmsen takes over for Felix Hernandez. He'll face Jason Castro, George Springer, Mark Krause, 3, 4, and 5. Castro tonight, sacrifice fly last time up, 0 for 2. Line drive right to Almonte, 1 out.
And for Felix tonight, 7 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of them earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, 96 pitches, 60 of those for strikes for Felix. And for Tom Wilhelmsen, his 9th appearance on the year, 4.91 ERA. Opponents hitting .222 off of Tom.
George Springer, the hitter, fouled out to Smoke, grounded out to short, struck out, 0 for 3.
So all 4 runs Felix gave up in the 6th inning unearned.
In that 6th inning, 4 runs, 4 hits, and an error. Bunt laid down by Fowler. That was the inning where Kyle dropped the throw from Zanino. Caught in between there is George Springer, 1 and 2.
Matt Albers, another veteran right-hander, getting loose in the Astros pen. There's Matt. He's pitched well for the Astros this year.
I thought they were really loaded when they signed Jesse Crane during the offseason. He had made the All-Star team last year, and he's on the shelf with an injury. Romero coming towards the line. It's catch in foul territory. So 2 outs. College night. It's back right here at Safeco Field. Make sure you join us for the first event of the season Friday at 7:10. Tickets only $10 for students, and you're going to enjoy happy hour pricing with $5 beers and half-off pizza until the first pitch. Plus, it's Beard Hat Night for the first 20,000 fans. And tickets at mariners.com/college. Mark Krause. Fly to left, strikeout looking, RBI single to right, and a run scored. Nobody on here for Wilhelmsen. Still trying to work his way back into form that he showed in the early part of last year. 1-1. Long drive, right field. Going back, Romero, goodbye. Home run, Mark Krause. 7-2 Astros. Krause with his second home run, his second RBI here tonight.
It was on a 1-1 pitch. It looked like maybe it was a cutter or a slider down and in. Krause just drops the barrel on it and lines it into the seats. We'll take a look at it. They want the pitch away. 88 miles an hour. Maybe it was the changeup from Tom.
Alex Presley, the hitter. Not been a good night. Krause with 4 home runs, 13 RBIs last year. Line drive, right center field. Presley out of the gate hard. Slams on the brakes as Almonte gets it back in. What a night he's had. 3 for 4. 2 singles, an RBI triple.
A couple of quick outs for Tom, and then the home run, and now this base hit. The base hit coming on a curveball. Brings up Dominguez, talking about having a good night. A 2-run home run, and then drove in a run with a double. So for Dominguez, he's driven in 3 runs tonight. Scored 1. 2 for 3.
Too many guys getting well tonight. One on one. Is DHing tonight. 2 balls, 1 strike. Homers, 77 runs batted in last season for Dominguez. Spent most of his time at third base.
Good fastball from Tom, 97 miles an hour. That's been his best fastball. He's hit 96 a couple of times.
Another run given up by the Mariners in the 8th inning.
Has not been a good inning for him, has it?
17-0. They've been outscored in the 8th inning. It's up to the minute. That's pretty ugly. 3-2. Runner goes. Popped up out of play. Dominguez has driven in 3. Presley 1-2 for Krause. 1 for Castro. The Astros feeling pretty good right now. They're sitting on a 7-game losing streak. They've got a 7-2 lead. Two, runner goes. Down low. Wilhelmsen goes 2 quick outs, home run, single, walk.
"17 pitches in the inning for Tom, 11 strikes. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitter, turnaround hit left-handed against Tom.
6 men to the plate here in the 8th inning. Ball 1. First pitch strikes 3 of the 6 men he's faced. Off the end of the bat, charging is Miller. And he throws him out. A run on 2 hits. No errors. A man left. Home 8th coming up. 7-2 Astros.
with you, and we asked you to send us your photos, and you have done so. You never forget your first. At least that's what we believe is the case. That's Juan with Kalani, and it is Kalani's first game. Now, Kalani is probably not going to remember this, but with the help of this photo, maybe he will not forget. It's our AT&T fan photos of the game. Kenyon sends us this picture of his son, and that K card is as big as he is. And Allison getting a very nifty shot with Erasmo during pregame warm-ups. Tweet your photos to hashtag Mariners fan photo for a chance to be shown in an upcoming broadcast. Guys.
All right, Angie, thank you very much. 7-2 Astros. Matt Albers takes over on the mound. Matt Albers, hard-throwing right-hander.
He's pitched well. This will be his 8th appearance. ERA at 1. 7 strikeouts over the 9 innings that he's pitched.
Jesus Guzman takes over at first. There's Jesus. Tough night for Ackley. Struck out 3 times, twice looking. Mariners looking for their first run in the 8th inning here in this early season. They've been outscored 17-0. 2-1. Coming over is third baseman Gonzalez. Comes back to him. It's a nice play. Take a look at our Columbia Bank difference of the ball game of inches, Mike.
Well, a lot of close plays. It looks like Zunino on a bunt is going to get the runner at third, but Kyle unfortunately drops the ball, so he ends up safe. Then Romero going back, trying to rob a home run, goes up on the wall, and this goes right off the end of his glove as he crashes into the wall. And then Dustin Ackley, same thing, just right out of his reach, and he crashes into the wall. So a number of plays that did not go the Mariners' way tonight.
Here's Cano 0 for 2 with a walk. Line drive, right field, base hit. And that'll bring up Corey Hart for 3 night for Cano.
Jumps on a first pitch fastball. Look at our McDonald's Supermo. That base hit. Robinson is now 1 for 3 in the game. He's also walked.
Corey Hart 1 for 3. Swing and a miss. Corey Hart with his 4th inning single extended his hitting streak to 5 games. Two balls, 1 strike. Corey Hart facing Matt Albers, who's in his 2nd tour of duty with the Astros. Was with him back in 06 and 07. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Matt went from Houston to Baltimore for 3 years. Boston in 2011. And 12. And then in the 12th season traded to Arizona. We saw him in 2013 with Cleveland and back to Houston last season. Bouncing ball, shortstop, VR to Altuve, and they got him.
I'm not sure about that.
Second base umpiring crew chief Jeff Nelson out there.
No issue with the transfer, but did he keep his foot on the base when he was able to catch the ball? And that's tough to see if his toe is touching or not. I think he was able to keep his foot on the base. McClendon is going to come out of the dugout and argue it.
Second reach back, looks like he got it.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. But I think he was able to keep contact with the base. Good play by the shortstop. I'm not sure they're going to see enough to overturn it, but they will take a look.
Play stands, it'll be the second out. Now it'll be first and second, 1 out. First review we had in the 7th inning, took 1:25. That was on a Zunino upper deck shot that went foul. He's off, and it looks like on the second, on the go back, it looked like he got it.
Yeah, maybe scraped his toe on the bag. That's all he needs.
That particular angle, you can see the effort made, but you can't see if he definitively touched it. Looked like Nelson was in good shape.
This might be your best chance to see it.
It's off. Does he get back? Dirt's in the way.
I haven't seen anything to overturn the call.
Wasn't today supposed to be a day where they're going to do some fine tuning?
Today or tomorrow, and it will be an out. It'll be a fielder's choice, 6-4.
So 2 outs, man at first. So that play is confirmed. They'll bring up Justin Smoke with 2 outs, man at first. Minute and a half. That confirmation. There's Smoke 0 for 3. No more challenges for the Mariners. They can only request reviews. Strike 1 to Smoke. 2 runs for the Mariners came in the 5th inning. Abraham Almonte doubled down the right field line. Scored Seager and Zunino, but it started the inning with a single and a double, respectively. One. Smoke behind 1-2, 2 outs, runner at first. In a 7-2 Astros lead. 2 runs in the 5th, 4 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th for Houston. Two.
A couple of pitches ago, he threw the fastball inside and came back with a changeup. Changeup at 81. See if he comes back with the changeup now.
Like 3 called. And the Mariners are gone in the 8th. We complete the 8th inning. Mariners have been outscored 17-0 in that inning so far this season. They trail here by 5. On Root Sports, being brought to you by Money Tree. Proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. By Jack in a Box. Head to Jack in a Box and try the new Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. It's Jack's hottest sandwich yet. And by Vern Funk Insurance. Bad luck can hit anyone. Insure with the 13th man. Vern Funk Insurance. Tom Wilhelmsen continues as you look at the Kings Court. When they were in full force is for that one section here tonight. Jonathan Villar, the shortstop, 9-hole hitting shortstop, leading off here in the 9th against Wilhelmsen. 0 for 3 night for Jonathan. To left field, Ackley, nice catch. With it, good speed out there.
Good running catch, ball slicing away from him. You look at our McDonald's Supermo.
One down, here's Altuve as we get back to the top view or up the middle. Grass slowed that up. Big difference from the grass in Miami.
Yes, a little bit.
Right? 2 outs. There's a super highway down there.
Yeah, that's probably a base hit there.
Mariners Team Store. Fan Dream Stakes contest that's going on right now. When you stop by any of the 5 convenient Mariners Team Stores to sign up, you're automatically entered to win one of 10 great prizes, including authentic Mariners apparel, a photo with a player, or even a chance to throw out the first pitch. Stop by a Mariners Team Store tonight.
Josh Fields looks like he will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning. This is the look that they used on the Cano play at second base. And they thought right there he reached back and was able to touch it with his toe, and that was good enough.
Two and one to Fowler. A couple of stolen bases tonight. Here's Miller. Throws him out. Wilhelmsen, a good 9th inning. Last licks here for the Mariners coming up. Romero, Seager, Zunino, 6, 7, and 8 in a 7-2 ball game. A lot of bounces did not go to Mariners' way tonight. Down 7-2. Bottom 9 here at Safeco Field. Stephen Romero, Kyle Seager, Mike Zunino against one-time Mariner first-round draft pick in June 2008, Josh Fields.
8th appearance on the year, 2.57 ERA, 7 strikeouts over 7 innings. Opponents hitting just 160. Stephen Romero having a good night, 2 for 3 tonight. One of his hits a double.
Fields now 28 years old. In there for a strike. Out of Athens, Georgia, lives in Hull, Georgia now.
Has a good fastball, 95 to 97 miles an hour with his fastball.
And Romero's going on 3 pitches. A couple of guys we hope to see Saturday here at Safeco Field. Felix had a bad night. Ditto, Yu Darvish.
Felix just 2 earned runs. No decision for Darvish as he gives up 3 earned runs over 6 innings. Bring up Kyle Seager. Kyle 1 for 3 tonight. Scored a run.
Watch Fields change his delivery a little bit since we last saw him. He looks a little bit like the Tim Lincecum. His motion. Right here as a setup.
Yeah, I can see that. Right over the top.
Of course, he doesn't have 2 Cy Young awards.
Just talking delivery, weren't you, Dave?
Yeah, just talking delivery. Right. Just wanted to clarify. Astro pitch recorded 12 strikeouts. Two and 1. Been a long way, and it goes foul. Two and 2 to Kyle Seager. 1 out, nobody on. Count. Top of the 8th, Texas leading at Oakland 4-3. Sean Doolittle on pitching now for Oakland. Three and 2 to Kyle. And strike 3 called. He thought he had a free pass. Laz Diaz thought otherwise. 2 outs. 13th strikeout recorded by Houston pitcher. Here's Mike Zunino. Out of his shoes, strike 1. 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored for Zunino.
Trying to catch up to a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Field's throwing hard here in the 9th inning.
Ball 1, 1-1. Damage done in the middle portion of this ball game. Houston with 2 in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. Added 1 more in the 8th. Strike 2. Mariners down to their last strike. It has been a Houston night. First meeting between these two teams. First of 19. 1-2 to Zunino. Up high, 2-2. Very good night for Felix. Gave up 6 runs, 2 of them earned. And everything went well this evening. 2-2. Pitch. Full count. Brad Miller on deck. Fields ready. 3-2 pitch here to Zunino. Struck him out. Ball game over. 7-2 Astros. And as Johnny Mercer said, something has to give, and it did. Astros in their 7-game losing streak, and the Mariner losing streak goes to 7. 2 hours and 49 minutes for this one. Mariners post-game show begins in 90 seconds.